So traders, right now, let's actually get ready for the markets moving forward. I'm going to be looking at the actual stock market itself. Stock market, and there's one market within the realm of the stock markets. There's one market out there that, oh my goodness, when I show you this pattern, guys, if we get a bit of confirmation from this pattern here, we're about to see a drop through the floor. Plus, that's with the stock market. Now moving over to metals and miners, bit of a technical analysis on what's happening through there. And I know you guys have been really interested about, about these different markets through here and how it doesn't make sense. But I'm going to be really showing you what's happening with there. Also, I'm going to be talking to you about the fear and greed index. What is the fear and greed index that's telling? There's actually a bit of greed now coming back into the markets. But what does it actually mean for the markets when it comes to the fear and greed index? I've got so much to share with you. But then also what I want to share with you is I want to share with you a bit of an encounter that I had with a female gym friend at the gym. And there's a bit of an encounter that she said something to me, and I had to sort of put her in a place in a polite way. But I got a bit of a story there as well too about that. But anyway, I've got a lot to go through, so let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, traders, so let's get straight into it. Traders, if you are struggling right now and you really need some help, the very first part you really need help with is identifying what goes into a good quality setup. So I've actually just put together a beautiful brand new, a beautiful training to really help you with my with showing you, and I'm actually giving you my trading system for free. I'm teaching you all the steps for free, exactly what I look for in one of the most highest probability trading patterns out there. And so very first thing in the description, click on that. You can get the complete free training that I put up there, walking you through all the details to that, plus exactly how I scan the markets to find the trades, and also about the things that took me from losing money to make money. You'll be able to see all that. Very first link in the description. So let's actually get onto the good old stocky market. Let's have a look at let's actually start off with the Dow Jones here first, okay? And the really interesting thing that's happening with the Dow Jones is we're noticing that we're right at this level of resistance through here. And this is actually really interesting to see the Dow Jones being as strong as it is right now. So you can see we're right at this level here, resistance, right at this level of resistance, and right here as well too. Now, what's happening with the Dow Jones, you'll be able to notice this as well too, okay? So what I want you to do is this, is that if you think any of your markets right now it's overbought or oversold, what I want you to do is not use the stochastics or the RSI, okay? Because the problem with that is that they can stay pinned, right? They can stay pinned on either side, right? So you can the overbought, oversold, they can actually stay pinned. One of the best things that I can sort of help you with when it comes down to your trading is to look at, actually, let's just remove this here. I'll remove the volume from the charts, and I'll just put this here. So one of the best things we can notice here is that, well, I want you to put on a moving average on the chart. Now I use a 52 moving average. And so what I want you to do is, now I use a 52 moving average on my charts, and it doesn't matter what time frame you're using. I just use a 52 moving average as this sort of longer term moving average, okay? I know some people use the 200 and the 100 and so on and so forth. I just like to use this. You could use the 60 if you want to, okay? The number's really irrelevant. But what I like to do is this, is that when I'm actually looking at these markers, you'll notice one thing here. You'll notice that the market never gets too far away from the moving average before we actually start to come back, okay? Before, you can see we get too far away, and we could get too far away before we end up getting at least a bit of a pullback towards, as you can see, right, we end up getting pullbacks towards the moving averages. And this is even on the downside, right? We never get too far away before we at least get a spring back. Too far away, spring back, too far away. And this is how the markets work, right? This is a flow of the markets, and how the markets work is they stair step like this, right? So when they get too far away, they've had too much selling, they end up coming back, and they might go back into an upward trend, pull back, so on and so forth. So if I'm looking at this here when it comes to the Dow Jones, I can see that the last time that we were this far away, what's this one here, okay? The last time, actually, I'm going to take this off the screen through here. And I'm going to take this off the screen. So the last time, if I actually draw from the maximum point through there to the moving average, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw this here. So I can see that was the maximum distance away. If I create a parallel trend line and where we are right now, I can see we're not there yet to the absolute maximum, but we're like pretty much, what's that, 95%? before the maximum last time we actually got this far away from the moving average, we actually had a pullback. Now, here's also the differences from last time to this time looking at the Dow Jones, okay? Now, this is what I'm looking at right now, guys, is short-term technical analysis, okay? Don't mix up the long-term stuff that I talk about, and this is the short-term technical analysis here. The difference is this, is that when you notice the moving average is trending down, right? The moving average is like a magnet, right? So if we have the moving average coming down like this, but then the market starts to, let's actually bring up a green here, or I'll just go with the black, right? And then the market starts here, but then the market starts to go up like this, but the moving average is coming down like this. What tends to happen is that then the market, or the moving average is like a magnet. It's going up, and then it'll pull it back down again, okay? So you can see here, last time the moving average was actually trending up at that time, giving a slight little momentum to the upside, right? But look what's happening here. We're still actually slightly trending down. We're starting to flatten out a little bit through here, but the market's still going up through there. So that tells me there's probably going to be a bit of a magnet on the markets here, bit pulling it back, at least to the moving average, to see move upside. Now, if this is going to be the start of a bull market in the Dow Jones, you'll start to see this thing start to make a higher low, right? So we'll probably start to see something like that, and then we do something like that, and then we'll probably see something like that, okay? So we'll start to see the upward trend form in motion when it comes to the Dow Jones. Now, this is the Dow Jones here. Now, let's actually take everything off the screen here. Now, let's go look at the S&P 500, right? S&P 500 is doing something completely different, but the S&P 500 is so much weaker, right? So much weaker. So as you can see, look what's happened through here, right? We've come back down. We've got a strong moving average coming down, and now we're just in this pullback phase through here. This is just a pullback, guys. There's nothing, right? This is just a pullback in the market here. And the interesting thing is that, as you can see, there's actually a bit of support and resistance. If I actually bring up, that was that last low through there. So at that point, say through there, as you can see, right? So this is that was that last point through there. You can see it came down, had a little bit of a bounce through there, and the market's still coming back down. You can see it actually broke that level. I'm just looking at, yeah, you can see it actually came back down. We actually found support through here, where we are right now. So all through that level through there. To me, it does look like that we're about to see a lot more movement on the downside. So you can see, obviously, we're on this pullback phase right now. And if we have a look at the hourly chart on the S&P 500, you can see we're just going sideways through here. So if the S&P does start to do something like this, like the moving average catch up, and then we get a bit of a breakdown, then we're probably going to come all the way back down to these new lows through here. And then if that does happen, let's go back to the daily charts now, then we're probably going to see, you can see my ultimate longer term levels come back into play around that 3,000 level is where the confluence of my longer term. Let's go back to the weekly chart here for a minute. Actually, I'll bring this chart up here. This is the weekly chart here without the moving average. Look at this here. This is the long-term weekly levels of where significant levels start to come into play. Right, so let me actually bring this up through there to there. It's actually probably there for there. So around that 3,000, 3,200 level is definitely where we're going to find a lot of support levels. So I would expect to see out of this level, I'd expect to see one more big leg down coming out of the stock market, coming into these levels here. And maybe, just maybe, that's where the stock market is going to start to find a bit of a bottoming pattern. Now let's go look at the Nasdaq. And the Nasdaq, oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness, the Nasdaq is so weak. Look at the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq's like almost at the lows for the year. The Nasdaq has been getting absolutely killed, right? So you can see the Nasdaq has had a round up to moving average, had a bit of a drop to the downside, and now we're just where we are right now. So, but we are in a very, very, very strong downward movement now. If we can let's actually bring on some short-term analysis through here, right? So we can see if I bring on the last sort of 3 months worth of data, data. All right, let's actually go to this one here. All right, I'm going to bring up this one here for a minute. So you can see the last 3 months. This was the starting point through there. right? And you can see where we are through there. This is probably a bit, maybe a bit of a channel happening through here, right? Maybe a bit of a short-term channel that's happening with the good old Nasdaq. You can see we actually had a pull up through there. We actually had this market. You see the market actually started to go up through there, a bit of a rally up, and then we had the drop down, and now we're just going sideways. So you can see this channel that's in place right now on the Nasdaq on this short-term sort of 3-month view. Isn't this just like, I don't know, but guys, leave a comment below. Who else also loves to just look at charts like this and draw the patterns and see the patterns unfold? And it doesn't mean I'm going to trade it, right? It doesn't mean I'm going to trade it, but oh, by the way, I actually did trade the Nasdaq here, and I actually did trade the Nasdaq on this breakout bar. Anyway, and so you can see what's happening through here right now, right? And so looking at this level through here, you can see that we actually had this rally up, and then we had this drop down, and now we've got this sideways period. Now, if I zoom in a bit even more, you can see how this last little support level through here. See that last little support level all through here on the Nasdaq? Look at all that support level through there. And if I bring this right over, look at that through there, right? So lots of support through here. Support, look, it came down and it rallied up and it found a lot of resistance through there. Let's go to the hourly chart here for a minute. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of resistance all through here as well too on that hourly chart. And you can see what's happening through here on the Nasdaq. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see the Nasdaq start to head back down towards the bottom of this channel through here somewhere, right? To start to see something like that going on. Let's see if there is another channel that's actually forming through here. Is there something else that's forming through there? Let's actually bring this up. So let's actually start it from here, and let's actually bring this down. So maybe the channel's got something to do with, maybe this is the channel through here. That actually looks a lot better, doesn't it? Yeah. That looks like the line. Maybe there's actually, I'm going to go into full technical analysis right here now, guys. I'm just doing some analysis live on the spot. But I'm just trying to see, because that's that level through there, right? That's more of the angle that we should be using, right? Look at the a lot more touches, a lot more bounces through there. So that's the level through there. And now I'm going to use the exact same angle. I'm going to see if there's anything else that we can notice through here. Yeah, there's nothing really there, is there? Nah, there's nothing really through there that I can notice. So probably, actually, is there something going on through there? Nah, probably making that up a bit. Yeah, again, guys, I'm doing right now. I'm going in full technical analysis mode right now, guys. I'm teaching you and looking at some stuff. So, yeah, so that'll be that point through there. That'll be that point through there where we are now. As you can see, we had a movement back up, but look at this here also. If I bring this back over to here, look where we are, right? We actually fully broke below this major level of support. We're actually breaking below this low level support on the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq is looking really, really weak. And I wouldn't be too surprised if we actually started to see the Nasdaq actually having a move back down through. So we are breaking down. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see the Nasdaq start to do something like this in the markets, right? Something like that coming back down towards the bottom of this channel, this sort of channel through there. So that's actually sort of, this is you go to the 3-month view there, as you can see. A bit of it. This is short-term technical analysis, guys, as I said before. And then you start to look at, say, the 1-year view, right, of what I brought up before, and you start to get like sort of the 6-month view, 1-year view, and you start to get these sort of channels going on through there. So, and it just gives you a bit of a projection of where we're likely to go to, right? Now let's go actually look at the bit of a weekly chart here. And the weekly chart, this is where that long-term level, this level through here, that's that long-term level through there. So this actually could start to make, it could go down to this level through here. And that's that short-term technical analysis, but then we're probably going to start to see this thing really, really, really roll off a cliff. So the Nasdaq actually is looking really, really weak on the downside through there. Now, the one market that I want to share with you is let's actually look at this here, right? Is this one right here, is the IYT, right? I can't talk, right? The transportation average, right? So let's actually start off with some short-term technical analysis. We'll go small picture, guys, and then we'll go into the big picture, okay? So small picture, I'm just going to draw a trend line coming down from there to there, and look at that, right? So that's that level from there to there, as you can see. So we have this movement from there to there, and then we've hit this resistance and hit this resistance all through here. And now we're starting to get like a bit of a, as you can see, right, we're starting to get this sort of coming up through here, right? We're starting to get that this sort of like a bit of a pullback through here. See that through there? So that little pullback right now, we're actually come down, we're actually a little pullback. So where it, if a chart starts in the top left and ends in the bottom right, what sort of trend do we have? Down, right? Downward trend. Fantastic. Class is over. See you tomorrow. Right? So that tells me, by looking at this level through here, by looking at what's going on through here, and we're sort of flattening out a little bit, that if we start to get like a bit of a breakdown bar out of this one here, if we start to get something like this through here, right, then we could start to get quite a nice move on this here. At least if we got something like that, we're probably going to see a move back down towards these low levels through here, because you can see that was that low level through there. So that's that level through there that I'm looking at. So that's the short-term picture there, right, guys? Let's actually create a parallel trend line here once again. Let's actually just draw it there. That may or may not be something. So let me actually now zoom out a little bit more. As you can see, I'm just zooming right out. And the one thing, whoa, now that's interesting. That is interesting. I'm going to take this off the screen because we don't need that anymore. We definitely have this pullback through here, but I'm going to take those off the screen now because now I'm looking at the big picture. I'm going to keep drawing that through there. And as you can see, look at this here. That's major. That level through there, guys, is major key areas of support or resistance there. So looking at that through there, if for some reason we got a very big strong bar down like this, like that, and let me actually bring on the moving average as well too. I'm going to show you what the moving average looks like. All right. So if I take that off the screen now, you look at the moving average. Moving average is trending down strongly. This strong moving average coming down is definitely you don't want to be fighting against a strong moving average, right? And you can see here, whenever the moving average is strong trending in any direction, like bad time to be trying to go short through here, right? Bad time to try to be going long through here. Why? Because the moving average is, there's a lot of momentum on the upside. And so the moving average is like that. So if we get something like this on a big bar breaking down like that, we're going to be breaking past key levels of major support levels. And then maybe, just maybe, let's actually go look at, I'm now looking at the weekly charts now, and I'm going to bring some trend lines through here. Oh, wow. And if that also breaks, we're also going to be breaking, oh, isn't that pretty cool? Right, that is also a massive long-term trend line that has come into play from that around there, plus also that around there. Where is that on the daily charts? I'm going full live technical analysis here. Look at that. Oh wow. So this is that long-term level on the transportation average index. So we have the low point through there. We have a connection through there. So this is a major level of support. And now we're back down through here. Isn't that fascinating? Right, and now so this is the weekly chart. That's that massive long-term weekly level, and now we're looking at this level through here, right? So that tells me, looking at this level through here, that if indeed we started to get this sort of breaking down through there, that would be a significant. If we got something like that coming over the next few weeks, the next few days, because this is a daily chart now. Oh my goodness, guys, that is going to be a significant break in the transportation average index. And that could be the start of a really big move on the downside. So that's what I wanted to share with you about that, guys. Quick little short-term technical analysis on the mining sector as well too. So let's have a look at my baby, which is the GDXJ. You guys know that, right? That's the mining sector that I just keep buying long-term, because guess what, guys? It's coming. The mining boom's coming. Now, it may not be for another 3 years or 4 years or 2 years. Who knows, right? All I know is that I am in it and I'm holding, and it's going to come, right? It might be 2030 when that comes. People just lose their nuts. 2030, John? It's like, but again, I don't know. It could be starting now, right? It could be starting right now. The beauty about what's happening on the mining sector right now is, look, we're getting this flattening period, but look what's happening through here, right? We've actually got a bit of a gap up, and look at that volume there. something happened last week on Friday when I think it was the unemployment or the employment number came out. Employment, that number that came out, right? Because something happened with the stock market, but then something happened with the metals and miners, right? We started to get a really big bid into this level through here. So you can see it come down through here. So I'm actually expecting to see quite a nice rise out of the mining sector coming through here. We're definitely not in a downtrend anymore. We're sort of flat through here on a short-term level. Let's go back to this level through here. Let's go back to the last 3 months. So nothing through there, but you can see how we're just on a short-term level. You can see how we're just starting to slowly make our way back up towards that level through there. And we did actually slowly bit of a squeeze out, little short-term breakout of this triangle pattern that's happening here on the mining sector, and a bit of a gap up as well. As I said before, same for the GDX. GDX again, we're just having a very, very, very strong sort of flattening period through here. A bit of a gap up, but it's actually looking quite nice, guys. Really, 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 really nice through here. Let's go have a look at gold as well too. Gold has been the one that I've been really sort of keeping an eye on for. We're not 100% out of the woodwork yet with gold, but looking at this level through here, that's that level through there, and then we have this level through here. So this is the gold price here. But let's go have a look at the GOD price. So the GOD price gives me a bit more of an update on the volume and stuff like that. And if we look at the GOD price, we can see how, that point through there, it's probably more, that was that level through there that stopped at, right? So that was that level there, probably that level through there, I would say. And now we have this level through here. Look at this here, squeezing up, a bit of a strong gap up, and a follow through with a lot of volume. So there's a lot of volume coming out of this, and this is that triangle pattern here. You can see a triangle pattern here form, and it doesn't mean it's going to break down, but you can see a big gap up and then our breakout on that GOD price there. Looking at the silver price as well, silver's actually getting a very, very, very strong bid. The problem with silver is silver's still stuck in this overall sideways range, like through there. If I go look at the SLV price, again, just a lot of buying activity, guys, is happening in the metals and the mining sector, and I wouldn't want to be there to fighting it at all. So there's a technical analysis up there, guys. That is, if you're just here for the technical analysis and the market updates and so on and so forth, well, that is the conclusion of that. I'm now going to get into the story of what actually happened with me in the encounter of my lady friend at the gym. Okay, so if that's all you come for, then the class is over now on a technical analysis. I just want to share a story with you, because I believe that this is also going to help you when it comes to moving forward with your life. Okay, so I was actually at the gym a few days ago, and one of my coach, basically my trainer, right, one of my trainers there. I was training at the F45 gym, right? So I was training at the F45 gym, and part of one of the sessions was basically like a deadlift, okay? And so it was actually me and my training partner named Naps, and me and Naps, we were actually we were training, we're doing deadlift, and the trainer came over and he said, try and lift up with one hand 100 kilos or 100 kilo deadlift, but do it with one hand, because that's what he did a few days ago. And he completely tore his forearm. He injured himself big time. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, then I'm gonna go try it. Right? I'm gonna try to do it with one hand. And so that was I'm gonna try it. Okay. And there was this lady there was this lady in the background. She was in the background. She was just on a bike, just doing the bike, right? Look at this here, right? We're all doing the class, which is like deadlifts and ball slams and all that sort of stuff, right? We're actually there. And this lady who's in the background, who's just on a bike, just riding the bike, watching us do our class. I couldn't believe it, right? So she was there, and I said, okay, I'm going to try it. And she goes to me, nah, you're not going to be able to do it, right? You're not going to be able to do it, right? Impossible. It's not going to happen. And I said, oh, well, you never know. And she goes, nah, it's not going to happen. She go, and I said, well, you just got to try, right? She goes, well, I'm a realist. And that's what she said to me. She goes, well, I'm a realist. And I looked up to her. By the way, she's a realist. She's actually overweight, always comes late to class, and she's on the bike and she's trying to tell me what to do. Sorry, darling, but no chance. Anyway, so she goes to me, I'm a realist. I looked up to her. I stood up. I looked her in the eye. I said, you might be a realist, which keeps you at the level where you are right now in your life. But I'm a reachist. You can stay with your realist and not keep moving in life. But I am going to reach est. I am a reachist. She's a realist. I'm a reach-est. I said, I'm going to reach because every now and then, guess what? I surprise myself and I actually do it. I actually do the impossible, right? I do the thing that people say it's not realistic to actually do that. And that's how you actually keep growing in life. Anyway, I tried to do it. I couldn't do it one hand, but I actually did. I got the actual, the lifting straps. You can sometimes, the lifting straps for you guys that go to the gym. I used the lifting strap with one hand and then I actually pulled it up. And I did do it one hand with the lifting strap. I couldn't actually do. I mean, like the deadlift, right? 100 kilo deadlift, one hand. I did it with the lifting strap, but I couldn't do it without the lifting strap because it was I couldn't get the actual grip. But with the lifting strap, I could actually do it. Anyway, so the whole purpose of me telling you that story, guys, is just be careful. There's a lot of people. There's some people around that maybe in your life right now that may be like that, right? It's like, they're the person who's not really doing much in their life, but they're going to say, oh, I'm a realist. You know, why are you going to try that for? And so on and so forth. And again, my first reaction was, hey, I'm a reachist. I'm going to continue reaching. Even though I may fail, I'm going to try. And I think that's what I think some people out there, right? They tried this, they do this thing that they just don't want to try. You know what I mean? They just don't want to try. And like I was watching both my sons play basketball on the weekend, and I was watching them play the basketball. And I was actually saying to my sons is that, you know, like it doesn't matter if you fail. Like I won't get cranky at you if you fail at something, because at least you tried to do it, right? What I will not be happy with is you actually not even trying something just because you're afraid of it, just because you're afraid of it not working. I said, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing I'm not happy with you about, is that if you just don't even try, right? You just talk yourself out of it. I said, just at least just go try to see if it does work, you know. And then every now and then you'll surprise yourself, right? So for example, like my youngest son Bailey, he's 11 years of age, and we you know, like halftime, it was actually me and my youngest son Bailey. We were actually watching my oldest son Curtis, and what was happening is that in halftime, I was actually shooting. You know, halftime, obviously, you know, we can go on the court and, you know, and shoot, and we can do some shoot. You can basically, you know, shoot some hoops. And so we're shooting some hoops, and it was really interesting, right? It was so interesting. And this is one thing I love about my youngest son Bailey, right? We're shooting some hoops, and then I actually got a few free throws in. I think I got me to about 10 or 20 times before I got my first free throw in. And then I asked my youngest son Bailey. I said, Bailey, I'll give you $5 if you can do a free throw. He goes, really? I'm like, yeah. And guess what? He went straight there. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's so amazing. Instead of him saying, well, I can't do that, he went, oh my goodness, all right. And he kept trying. And, you know, at firstly, he just kept doing it standing still. But then he tried to do it from a run up, right? Where he got a run up and he started to shoot, and he got it in, right? And he made $5. And I'm like, oh, that is so amazing, right? It's like my younger son, who's only 11, right? He's only 11, and I say, I'll give you $5. He's like, really? And he just kept going, and he ended up getting it, right? So the whole purpose of me, that story there, guys, is you know, just make sure you try to hang around people who are going to push you and make you feel uncomfortable every now and then, right? Like with my sons, I'm like, oh, go try it, you know. And I want to stay away from this lady friend. Again, I don't know her. She's probably not a bad person, but I want to stay away from the realistic people, right? The realist people. And I want to be around the people who are the richest people, right? Not the richest people, because who cares about the richest people, right? Richest doesn't mean really anything, right? It's like, oh, we have a lot of money, big deal, whatever, right? But what I do want to be around is I want to be around those people who are going to continue to help me reach est. So I can reach for the highest, right? So don't be a realistic or a realistic, or a whatever she said. Be a reachist in your life, and you'll be able to start to really and you'll be able to surprise yourself in that there. So hope this helps you out today there, traders, and I'll speak to you in the next update. Traders, I want to invite you to my webinar that I'm running today. And on this webinar, I'm going to share with you all the details to my #1 trading system for the last 17 years and how I only trade 1 hour per day. Plus, also going to be learning the 3 secrets that I had to master over the last 17 years to generate a really good income. If you go to johnsfreetraining.com, or there should be a link in the description, click on that. Go over there right now, register. If you are struggling with the trading right now, I promise you this is going to completely game change, because you're going to understand why you are going backwards and why you're losing money. And then I'm going to teach you exactly what the system I use that gets me a really high % win-loss ratio. So this is what I want you to do right now. Go to johnsfreetraining.com. Go over there, register for my webinar right now today, because you're going to absolutely love it. Or there should be a link in the description. And I look forward to seeing you on the webinar. So go to that right now, and I look forward to seeing you on my next webinar. Go to that right now. Go to johnsfreetraining.com. Go to that right now.